Hi, I'm Casie. I am a UCSB EAP peer advisor. I studied abroad in Bologna, Italy last year, and I am now a fourth-year language, culture, and society major here at UCSB. And today I will be making some homemade tagliatelle al ragù, or as some of you may know it, spaghetti bolognese. It is a bolognese classic, and I can't wait to try it out. I'm not a professional chef, just a disclaimer, but yeah, I think it'll be delicious, so I hope you enjoy.
So the first thing I'm going to make today is the ragu. So what you need is a mirepoix, which is a fancy French word for onions and a bunch of carrots and celery, which I have chopped up nicely here. But before we do anything with these veggies, I'm going to brown my meat. So I've got here a pound of pork and a pound of beef, and I'm also going to fry up some pancetta, which is going to go into the mirepoix a little bit later.
Okay, at this point I would like to add that you can totally make tagliatelle al ragù vegetarian. You would just have to replace the meat with tofu or any kind of meat substitute that you prefer. And you can make the noodles, which I'm going to be making later, with just egg or some other kind of emulsifier that will hold the flour together. But today's recipe is a little more traditional, so we are using meat. So I just finished browning my meat, and now I'm going to add the onions to the bottom of the, if you can see that, yeah, to the bottom of the pan here. We're gonna let those sweat out for a bit, and then we're gonna add our carrots and celery and pancetta, and I'll get a nice shot of that all bubbling away.
Okay, it is starting to smell delicious in here, if I do say so myself. Please pardon my dirty stove. We've been cooking a lot lately. But yeah, so we've got the pancetta, carrots, celery, and onions all bubbling away in this pot as of right now. Okay, so this has been bubbling for a little bit. The next thing I'm going to add is a quarter cup of tomato paste and a cup of dry white wine like Sauvignon Blanc. Full disclosure, I'm following a Binging with Babish recipe today. I really like the way his turned out. So yeah, now I'm going to add some chicken stock. Just going to do this a little bit at a time. So set that down on our very limited counter space and give this a mix. And I will keep ladling in chicken stock until everything is submerged. And yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay, due to pure human error, I forgot to mention that we add the meat back to the mirepoix and tomato mixture, and then we cover it in chicken stock. So I've covered it in chicken stock, and then what we're gonna do is add a cup of whole milk, put some parmesan rinds on top and some bay leaves, and then we're gonna throw it in a 300-degree oven for about 3 to 4 hours and really let it bubble up. Tagliatelle al ragù is such an iconic dish from Bologna, but you may also recognize tortellini as an iconic dish from Bologna as well. I actually took a tortellini making class while I was in Bologna, but it was pretty difficult to make by myself, so I decided to go with this recipe instead. But I highly recommend you try making this stuff at home. It's delicious, and you know, good things take time, so yeah, it may take a few hours to make, but I promise it's so worth it.
So I just added a cup of whole milk, now throwing in the bay leaves and the parmesan rinds. I just finished grating up a bunch of fresh parmesan that will go in later. So I'm just gonna kind of stir this all in. I know it looks a little gelatinous, for lack of a better word right now, but it's gonna simmer and just be beautiful.
So I had to transfer the sauce to this glass baking dish because we can't put our pot in the oven. The handles are plastic. But yeah, so we will see this guy in just a few hours. Bye.
Today I am making fresh pasta to go with our ragu. I've got 3 eggs, some olive oil and salt, and a mound of flour. And what you're gonna do is just kind of beat the eggs together in the center of this mound. Oh my gosh, it's so messy. Just making sure that you pick up some flour each time that you beat it. So yeah, this is gonna come together and form a beautiful little dough, and then we're gonna chill it in the fridge for half an hour and roll it out. So now that I've beaten my eggs up with my flour, I'm starting to form a little dough ball here that I will not so gently knead for about 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah, that's the stage we're at now. So the way you know your dough is done is when you press into it and it springs back a bit. You can kind of see that here. So now we're just gonna let the dough rest for half an hour and we'll begin rolling it out. Okay, so the dough has rested and I cut it into fourths. So right now I'm going to roll out this sheet as thin as possible and then I'm gonna fold it up and cut it into noodles. So let's get it going. I've got the pasta sheet rolled out as thin as I can with my trusty rolling pin over here. And now I'm gonna start folding it accordion style. So we got one fold here. And then I'm gonna pick it up and fold it again onto itself. And I cut the pasta along the horizontal line of the sheet. Let's see how it turned out. Okay, so here's one noodle. And so this is all gonna be part of like one nest of pasta that we're gonna boil later when the ragu is ready. I just took the ragu out of the oven and it's looking really crispy and smells great. So now I'm going to add a ton of freshly grated parmesan that I did earlier and gonna add a little bit of milk so it gets a little more creamy. And yeah, that'll kind of be it for the sauce and then we can go on and boil the pasta. So I just dropped in my fresh pasta to the boiling salt water. Got my ragu here chilling on the side. I wish y'all had smell-o-vision because it smells amazing if I do say so myself. This is just gonna cook for about 60 seconds. Then we're gonna transfer it to this warm pan with a little bit of ragu and a little bit of pasta water. Then when it's all cooked, we're gonna top it off with some more fresh parmesan. Man, oh man, that smells so good. You came to join me this evening.
So good, so delicious.
Thank you, Emma. I appreciate it. Okay, another hopefully happy customer. Oh, bella andiamo. So glad you like it. Just gonna twist the pasta up a little bit and let's try it out. So it has been a long and laborious day, but the pasta is so good. It's so much better when it's fresh. And for those of you who are 21, maybe you'd like to enjoy a nice bottle of Chianti with your pasta. That is something that we drink all the time in Italy at restaurants. And I thought I'd get this cute little one in a little barrel looking thing because it screams Italy to me. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy a glass of this and my pasta, and yeah, thank you for watching.